Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with it's a Calvinball page, as all of my pages this month will be, but this is primarily a 12 box project page. And what I'm doing is, if you saw the video I did that was published earlier this morning, I scanned some photos from 1973. Was that 1973? Probably. And at that point, well, 1970, the ones that were in Banff from my Calgary trip were 1973. These were in 1972, a month or so before, but they were in the same batch, probably on the same roll of film. And when the story here, which doesn't need to be told in any great detail, is that at one point, my first husband and I were separated for a while, and I moved in with my office mate and good friend, Leslie. And she had, the story here is the house, the place, not the separation, but it was a duplex that was built by an architect in Tulsa, and it backed onto a ravine where there was lots of wildlife. It was in an otherwise traditional residential neighborhood, and it was lots of angled, you can't really tell it on here, but very angled and modern, contemporary, modern kind of house. And Leslie really, furnished it that way. It had a potbelly stove heater kind of in the middle of the living room, and she had some really nice lamps. And this was, mind you, in the 70s, and this furniture is timeless. It would actually look really nice in a contemporary home now. And I didn't bring too many of my things over, so I just kind of had a small bedroom. But of course, the important part was the art on the wall and the stereo. I had to have the stereo right beside the bed. So those are the only 3 pictures I have of that place. And to be honest, I had forgotten all about it until I saw those photos in the in that box. So that's what the 12 box project is good for, is helping you relive your life, even oddball moments like this. So I had picked out these photos, or that's not absolutely true. I scanned a bunch of photos, and then I went to my Scrap Backwards kit, and I found this piece of paper, which is an Alexandra Rinke design, and it's got a very traditional kind of pattern, but she's kind of faded it in some places, done mixed media kind of coming through. It's just a gorgeous piece of paper. I never have known how to use it. And I had one of these, and then Adam sent me another one. And so I've decided, okay, it's time to go ahead and use it. I have the load, or not load, I keep calling it load. It's Calvinball points. There are 12 rules that are in play right now: star, die cut, striped pattern paper, stamp, stencil, date, green, avocado, zebra stripe, punch, chipboard, and film strip. So my striped pattern paper is going to be this, and I thought it would make a nice stark, kind of like the neighborhood there. Actually, the color of this paper, and I chose this striped paper, the black there, and I'm taking these film strips with me on the trip. These are from 49 and Market. They're essentials, and these are, I forget what the package is called. Hold on just a minute, I'll tell you what color group. They're eucalyptus, and they're very generic, kind of gray and black, so they go with anything. So they'll go with any page I decide to make on the road. And once I had pulled these things, then I went to the photos, and this doesn't look like it would be for a Banff trip out, you know, at the ski slopes in Banff. So I looked for something else, and I was actually thinking in that group there were some photos of my husband's family and gathering at his house before all this separation occurred, and those would have been nice. But then I saw these of the house and realized I'd never scrapped anything about that before. And so I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on, and I debated whether to run it down the side or like this, in other words, like that. And I thought since my photos are vertical, I would cover up too much of this tear, and I kind of like that. So I can do the photo strip kind of at an angle here. I have this piece of zebra striped paper, which I'm going to tear. And I'm going to try to tear it so that it still looks like the zebra stripe. So that, and then I'll use the other half of it for another layout. I'm not going to throw that away. So I thought that could run along that side of it. You can see that that's a zebra stripe, right? And then I'm thinking this could kind of go out. I don't want anything on this side. I'm gonna do the embellishing out this way. So let me just kind of get this down and start forming the page. I don't think it's going to be a particularly complex page, but let's see. Let me get my glue. Where did my glue bottle go? I have sort of lost it. I have all these because I got a new organizer. Here it is. Okay. I'm going to put liquid glue on here so that I can slide it under and move it around. And see how much I want to hide versus how much I want showing. This is kind of cool because it overlaps not only the rosy pink paper, but also I have the glue a little bit too close to this torn edge because I want to go under that torn edge with the film strip. Let's see if I can get that where I want it to be. And I'm sure some of you are wondering why I had to glue all that down so soon before I had actually placed the rest of this stuff. And that's because I'm just goofy. I don't, just kind of hide some glue right there. And I need a punched item, and I have punched this circle out of some striped paper. It's not chipboard, so I'm going to include something else that is chipboard. This is out of some packaging, and that'd be nice if I could do that. Why don't I just cut some off and do that? Kind of slide it under there. And then I'm going to layer this chipboard button on top of that. And I've tied some twine that's got the same color as that in it. So I'm going to layer it this way so the bow is facing the right way. And then I'm going to add a star down here. And this is a Bramble Fox Acrylic Star. And I'm going to put it kind of right there. And I have some, for the die cut, I have several things. I have to put the avocado in there. I have this die cut from that really appeals to me a lot. But on the other hand, I've got these florals that I could layer. Or I have something like this, which has those, let's see if this might work. I'm kind of actually liking it. I'm getting a text. Of course, I always get text. James just brought the dog back from the vet, and it's and he's telling the kids how much it cost. It was outrageous. Crazy talk. Okay, I'm going to put that there and let it be glued down, kind of down here at this part. And then I'll let this kind of arch up. And now I have the star to put somewhere. I may put it down here, or why not right in that same area? I kind of like it down here. Okay, now for a stencil, I've got this, and I like these arrows kind of pointing to the photo. So I've got some black Distress Oxide, black soot, and I'm gonna put it on this little applicator right here, and kind of do that. You know, I actually intended to do this row, and I'll let it fade out as it goes to the end. Okay, that seems to work, and I kind of like that it's not absolutely parallel, because you really couldn't tell anyway. Let me put that over to the side. And I'm going to find a place to put stamp the avocado. And I'm going to stamp it in Rustic Wilderness instead of Cracked Pistachio, because I think Rustic Wilderness will look better with these greens and with the colors in there. Let's see. And I'm gonna do that. I've got it inked up. Where will it go? I'm gonna push this aside, and then I'll bend it back, and I'll stamp it right there. Okay, and then when I push the leaves, he's kind of running behind the leaves. So that satisfies my green, although the leaves on there would work as well. Let me put the title on here. I think I'll just kind of put it here under the arrows. These are those Scrabble letters that came a couple of kits ago in the Mind the Scrap kits, and I just love them. I will be using them on layouts even when I can't spell words. I'll just put them on as decorations, tuck them into clusters or something. And my journaling is going to end up getting tucked down in here. There's kind of a pocket. I put the adhesive here and around here so that I'd have a spot right there. And what I may do is just stick a piece of pattern paper, not that pattern paper. I know what, I'll use one of these slimline pad papers. That's not the right color. How about that green? And I'm gonna just tear it let it kind of come out like that, and I'll journal on it that way. Now, date, I have to put a date, so there's a little label here that I can stamp a date. I've got this. Why don't I stamp it in green? I have the black, but I'm gonna go with the green, just for something different. Let's see, I need to cover up my glue so it doesn't dry out. And I have 01/13/72 on here. I think that's the date. It may not fit right there. Why don't I just put it on there? And that gives me the date for, it dates whatever it is that I write there by way of my journaling. Okay, let's go back through the Calvinball prompts. Dropping things all over the floor. Okay, star. I've got a star. A die cut, that's what this little guy is right there. Striped pattern paper here. Stamp, the date stamp and the avocado stamp. Stencil is the arrows. The date is right there. Green, I've got the green paper and the green ink that I stamped with, and the green avocado and so forth. Zebra stripe, that's what this is right here. Punch, that's what I use to get that kind of bluish circle. Chipboard button and a film strip. So I'm set and ready to go, and this guy is done. So I'm probably, it begins to get a little bit difficult to do Calvinball layouts when they start adding lots and lots of rules. So I'll probably do a few, well, I'm recording this on Friday. I'll probably record another one on Saturday for when I do my Scrap Squad Sunday video. And then after that, I'll probably be, the airways will probably be silent for a while, and I'll do something when I come back every once in a while. So thank you for watching, and if you haven't tried Calvinball, I would highly recommend it. There's no pressure to compete and get the highest score. It's just about looking at your stash in a different way and using things that you hadn't thought about using in a while because they show up on the list. For example, I don't use date stamps very often, but I found I have a whole box of them and I put them on my desk. So, and I don't really use my avocado stamp very much except during Calvinball. So thanks for watching. Bye.